So I'm gonna make another video about the topic of free will, but from a different angle. So there's a problem with free will because there is a brain, a bodily substrate that is determining how the choices you end up making. That's irrefutable. Like, we can show it in a lab and stuff like that. So that we have that mechanism. And then there's the idea of free will. Now, I'm arguing that free will doesn't operate from within the laws of nature, but that it's supernatural in that sense. That experience is supernatural. But still, like, okay, so if it's supernatural, so how come the brain can control it at all? Like, it has all of this power. Why doesn't it use it, right? And why are my choices so predictable? Like, you can know in advance what I will do. I'm the kind of person that you can kind of predict what he's going to do. And but how is that? If I have free will, how can you predict it and accurately? So I think the best way to understand this is to think about a boat, a sailboat. So I don't know if you know how sailboat can sail in any direction they want, even almost directly against the wind, against the current. And the reason they can do that is because they generate a counter force through the hull, and eventually they can generate the propellant force toward whatever direction they want, except for like really going head on with the wind. But almost any other angle, it's possible that you create you use the forces so that the average sum is to the direction you want. And my argument about the way desire works, the way the will works, the way the body works with the will, is the same. The body cannot control what you want, but it can make it so that whatever you want, it will provide you with the counter driver that will say, okay, let's say the body wants you to go straight. So if you want to go right, the body will show you that you probably want to go left a bit. If you want to go left, the body will tell you that you probably want to go right a bit. And then the average sum will push you forward. A good example of this, I don't know if you ever encountered this, if you stand close to the edge of a cliff and you feel fear of falling, but it's not just fear of falling. I know it. There's this unexplained desire to jump, and that desire frightens you, and the fear of it makes you stay away from the edge. Now, the way science explains this now is that countered after the fact thing. It's like the body creates the desire to step away from the ledge, and then experience interprets it as if it was wanting to do it, and therefore it has to step back. Like that it's like interpretation of an previously existing desire, bodily desire to go back. But it assumes that whatever happens like in experiences doesn't matter. But if you assume that experience is fundamental, then you must understand that yes, there is a desire to jump. Now, what the fuck is that? Why is there a desire to jump? If it is experience that is fundamental, not the bodily substrate, not as much, or not exclusively. So you have to be able to explain the desire to jump, even without the push of the body. And my answer to that is that yes, there is a desire to jump, a real desire to jump. Desire, the will, is unpredictable, uncontrollable. It's unintelligible. Or it can be. And the body uses manipulates the scenario to create, to drive experience toward its more stronger desires, the stronger wills. But the will to do opposite is there. It's not that there's no will to do yourself harm. There is. There has to be. The reason there has to be is because the will is inherent to experience, and if experience is fundamental, then it is causally independent. And if it is causally independent, then it has to be causally independent. It cannot be dependent on the survival of the body. So, and so it does have this desire, but the body simply curbs it, like it uses like the hull of a boat to make it so that the average sum would be against jumping off the cliff or something like that. And I would argue that it does it for everything. All of your desires work in this fashion. They combine the desire to do something and not to do something, and the body creates a disposition where the average sum of desire is to do the thing that is advantageous for the body's survival. But the components that are counter to the body's survival are always there. So you have, when you feel pleasure, you want to involve pain in it. When you taste sour, let's say salty, you want to involve sweet in it. This is all the same idea. Like, it's not that I don't want to sound like too hysterical or too gloomy, but desire simply will take every shape and form it can, and it is the role of the body to give it structure that preserves the body.